Olaram Jatetur Balsu Koigar Nervore. I am Kadale Kabor, your host for Under the Helm, the Way of the Mandalore official podcast. Joining us are co-host Zel Namore. We've got Kando Drashia, Julia Wolf, Aru, the whole damn problem, Ordric Silver, West Mitten Mando, Untamed Mando, who for some reason refuses to turn up her volume. Just kidding.
A Mandalorian must, to the best of their individual ability, provide care and shelter to foundlings. A Mandalorian must set some aside for the foundling. This means that a Keeper of the Way must actively donate time, money, and/or resources that will aid unwanted, abused, orphaned, or neglected children. If a Mandalorian is blessed to be able to foster or even adopt, this is to be commended, but it is not a requirement. A Mandalorian must not seek out praise or even recognition for the good they do for foundlings. This is the way.
Ibik Rooney.
This is the way.
Ibit Crooney.
So, that being said, our topic for this month will be how can we help foundlings? Either that, and that's a general topic. It does not have to be children in specific. It could be new people finding their way to the faith. In the conversations we were having, I think yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, we were talking about setting up some charities, or we do have the GoFundMe that we can set donations into there, and the Allure can take it from there and divvy it up into subheadings, for lack of a better term. Like 10% of it will go to, I don't know, feeding the hungry. 15% can go to like Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America. We can set some aside for the Armorers Guild to print or make armor pieces slash calls for new members. That kind of stuff.
So if we are going to be giving to any charities, I've got one that is near and dear to my heart. If you don't mind, it's Hope Packages. It's local to me. Michigan is one of the largest foster home, like in the entire country of all of the states. It's one of the, I think it's number one for foster homes, for
Right.
foster children in the system. They give out first night bags to kids going into the system. That's stuff that they don't have. Like, they have their own toothbrush now. They might not have had socks or underwear or clothes, or, it gives them the things that they need that are theirs, that they can have, that they didn't have to get taken away from them because they were a naughty kid or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. You're talking about kids going from a family setting, like maybe CPS takes them into a care
Into a foster
system.
care.
Right. Not going from
And-
foster care into a family setting, but going from the family setting into the foster care system.
From the system from the setting where they needed to get out of.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a worthy one to go to. I do not have the power to set that up, but it's something we can talk to the Allure with, the board of directors. That's a conversation for them. But yeah, me and Zell can bring that up in the messenger group with the Allure and see what they think.
All right, then I will DM you a
Okay.
link for that.
And if anyone has ideas, please either post them into the Discord or message them on Facebook for those listening post editing in 3 months when I get off my lazy ass and edit this episode.
Editing sucks.
It does. I'm actually at the point where I might ask for volunteers from the community to help me out with that. Because my life schedule is either I'm sleeping I'm at work or I'm playing video games for about the hour before I go to sleep.
And
And
then
yet-
you're helping mom and dad.
That's mostly on Sundays. Or I get the
Whoop.
random call at 8 o'clock in the morning saying we had a beloved pet pass away,
Mm-hmm.
which he lived a good life, 15 years old in a loving family. So I actually started an event on Facebook, the Facebook page for the Keepers,
Oh, excuse me.
which anyone can
Sorry about
follow
that.
there to see when we're going to have sessions.
I think you can also post the link to the Twitch in the Facebook event group. That way,
It-
like
it-
they have.
You
they
should
know
be
where
Yeah,
to go.
it is posted on the event.
Well, I'm just dumb because I didn't see it.
It should be on there. Let me double check.
Well, that's one of the alerts. Like, wait, what is this? No, thank you.
Okay, so it actually took me to the page when I said start. Oops. No, I don't want to start again. Post this into the podcast channel so y'all can see the event.
Put the children.
Just looking at the events on Facebook now is kind of weird. There's a pool party in New Delhi, India. Saturday,
That sounds
January 4th,
safe.
2025.
That sounds safe.
Oh,
You're not going to
you
get
know
a
what?
Pepsi in that pool. at all.
59,000 people
Tetanus.
interested. One going.
Alrighty. I'm gonna have to rein us in on that on this because they're starting to get way off topic.
Yeah, let me close
The talking
Facebook there for a second.
Your ADHD. Ooh, look, a chicken is
Ooh, squirrel!
high.
I'm sorry, Zell. Hey,
Do you know
I
what a
gave.
mountain chicken is?
No, but I know what a danger chicken is.
You should Google mountain chicken one day.
Oh,
Maybe not
God.
here, but one of these days. It's not what you
Oh,
think.
God.
Mountain chicken is actually a toad.
Yeah. Why'd you have to spoil it?
But
But
do you
yes,
know
it's
what
actually a
Rocky
frog.
Mountain oysters are?
Yeah, I do.
I refuse to
Okay, I
ever
was a butcher.
touch one of those.
Is it
I'm
just
back.
the oyster in the
And-
Rocky
I
Mountains?
I touch Rocky Mountain oysters every night.
What?
Mm.
What?
Anyways,
You get your exercise?
Just learn not to question things.
I'm too
Oh,
mid to
Jesus.
understand.
I thought we were supposed to be reining this in.
He was, but then I derailed it all over again.
yeah.
What
Back
good-
to
Back to
the
soccer.
Tenet. Back to the Tenet.
I will find a way to derail it again just by talking about the Tenet. I can guarantee you.
But also
So-
referring to the tenant, I worked at a bank for a few years, and like GoFundMe is cool and all, but I don't know how widespread access it is. Like I don't know, like because I know we have members in other countries. So I think like finding a solution that is available to like all countries would probably be great. Like everyone can maybe like donate to a giant fund, a giant account that is divvied out by the council.
I'm going to propose this question to y'all. What are some other things that you have thought of aside from monetary that you personally have thought of being able to set aside or to do for foundlings? If what I ask,
Technically-
if my question is
It is, and I've got enough Corota Beskars, the 3D printed Heart of Irons, made that I could hand some out as party favors, for lack of a better term.
Honestly, like one of the things I do, like it's not like a a physical thing, but like this past fall I'm coaching little league soccer, and so like that's me giving my time to children within the community. And I consider that like pouring into the next generation and pouring into like kids that maybe CPS doesn't notice them. Because I was that kid, nobody ever noticed that I had trouble going on at home, but my soccer coach was someone who cared, and it was an adult that I could trust. And so like in my opinion, like that's something that I am able to pour back into, is get involved in the community and get involved in like, mentoring children.
I like that answer. Can I steal that?
That's,
That's better than my
Yeah,
answer
absolutely.
was.
that's a very,
That's better than my answer is.
I definitely look at this from
Similar to what
not
I've
only
done before too.
not only the monetary aspect, but holding stuff aside like assets, time, monetary stuff, as well as knowledge base and skill transfer. All things to consider with that.
I mean, it's better than me holding 3D prints as party favors. Answer.
Yeah.
Like a buttload of 22. So.
Oh yeah, there we go. For the older members, I can hand out 22 long rifle ammo. I got like 5,000 rounds of that.
It's
When I was
literally
9, that's when I got my first 22. It was a little pump action, and it was my favorite thing in the world, and I was only 9 years old, so...
I keep forgetting that pump action 22s exist.
Oh,
Gouge my eyeballs out.
they're so
My,
No.
I would not say I had one as a kid, but my father certainly had one while I was growing up.
No, my grandfather taught me how to shoot on a break action 22 that was as old as he was. Thing looked like it was gonna die.
My dad did not teach me or my brother how to shoot. We learned through the Boy Scouts on that one.
Same here.
No, I learned.
my dad
I had to do
taught me
Girl
at,
Scouts. We
like,
didn't learn anything.
You learned how to
7
sell
years
cookies.
old.
Hey, at
That
least
is
they have
true.
good cookies compared to the Boy Scout popcorn.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, the popcorn really went downhill bad.
But anyway,
Yeah.
squirrel tactics and whatnot. Hey,
Squirrel tactics, what?
yeah. So what I do, back on topic, what I do for the foundlings is throughout the year I make sure every time I go to the grocery store, every time I go to Meijer or Walmart or wherever, before I go and get my groceries, I go down the toy aisle and look and see what games, what things are on sale so I can pick something out every time that I go and hoard it like the crazy old man I am until Christmas comes and I fill as many Toys for Tots boxes as I can get.
I figured that's what you were going with, and the clearance aisle would be really great for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, I go for games because it's something that brings the family together. It's something they spend time with mom and dad with their siblings if they have them.
I'm trying to be
I've
frugal
got-
with it. I've walked the Walmart clearance section. You can find games and random toys there.
Yeah. But I've got like Sorry.
And we do have the holiday season upon us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Coming right
I've
up.
got a bunch of like the classic games. Sorry, Trouble, 3 different kinds of Uno. I've got this really cool game, Happy Little Dinosaurs, that I'm looking to get more of. It's a game that we play. Look
Growing
it
up, my
on,
family
look it
played
up on
Yahtzee.
YouTube. Yeah, Yahtzee is a
Uno.
good one.
Uno's a big
Yahtzee's
one at
amazing.
our dinner table.
But yeah, no, when I'm also thinking of like big picture stuff too. So like when I eventually do get a plot of land, I get my family taken care of, we get our little homestead established. If I can expand the property even further, I do want to look into the potential of building a covert or slash safe house that can also act as a place of refuge in case a family is in need and they've been displaced.
Mhm.
That's a good
Right.
idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought of something.
Oh hell yeah, people been needing that more and
Whoa,
more
you're
these
loud.
days.
Oh yeah.
That's the one person
It
I
was
forgot
loud.
to. I turned volume up so I could hear a particular person and turned everyone else down.
I'm
And it likely won't end
sorry.
up because the financial constraints of inflation and property values. The realistic side of it, it's still going to be cheaper than any rent you'll ever get. The safe house might not be free, but it'll be cheaper than what you're finding on the market for a place to keep your family.
Dude,
So
you're
Yeah.
not kidding. I've started
Yeah.
my apartment hunt early because my lease is up in March and I do plan on moving. Now whether I'm moving closer to family or closer to work just depends on what I can find. But a basic one bedroom apartment is hard to find for under $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 now.
Mhm.
yeah, mine's
Yeah.
1,500. Yeah,
Yeah, the
1,500 for
cost of
one bedroom.
rent. It's crazy. Like I found some people's mortgages that are as much as like what some people are paying rent.
Yeah.
And I'm still
And some
paying $800
mortgages are
in my
also like the
mortgage
amount of pickup
every
trucks
month.
and such.
Oh, of course you are. Oh, but it's better than living there.
Yeah, no, fucking Illinois sucks. It can burn in
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah,
Like,
luckily
if
for
you
me,
go,
I'm on the
one
far
state
south
over is
side.
probably better. Like just go to Missouri. You know, it's just right over there.
Weren't you in Missouri for a little bit, Aru?
I was right next to the riot buffer zone, St. Louis.
Ah. Yeah, I've got family up in St. Louis and stuff, and a lot of family up in Missouri. Is why is like, just go to Missouri, even though like my brother's trying to get out for whatever reason, because like he wants to be a teacher, and the Florida seems to be doing something for veterans and teachers. So he's like, I want to go to Florida.
Mhm.
I would end up
So-
scarring all of those children. That is a horrible idea.
I agree. His 5 children are already messed up. Why is he wanting to mess up more children?
Yeah.
I would be a horrible teacher though in a fucking classroom setting because that'd be like a bull in a china shop. I'd be like Adam Sandler in every Adam Sandler movie. I'd be a disaster.
Well, here's the question: which subject would you teach?
Oh, mine would be history. Oh god damn it! Here we go again.
Hey, Mr. Chubby
I mean, you
Electron
need
guy.
to teach children history. Like, that is an important thing because most kids nowadays don't know history. So it's a very important thing for kids to learn.
Yeah, he won't be the fat electrician. He'll be the chubby electrical.
Yeah, I'd end up on the news. And Florida man brings a unloaded musket to a school for demonstration.
I mean, aren't Florida
would-
teachers
yeah,
being
yeah.
armed now?
You can do that
here's
in
the funny thing.
Alabama.
Here's the funny thing about that. I had a history teacher that was also the leader of our reenactment living history group.
That's
He
awesome.
actually had an outdoor and adventures class that I was like, fuck yeah, I'd be down for this. He taught us how to make atlaws. He brought in he atlaws. One
What's
of
that?
the oldest known projectile weapon.
Oh, addle. Okay, you said it real fast.
like, so not like a rock and a sling,
Uh-oh.
like just okay.
No, this
It's
even
for your arms.
predates this even predates slings.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't
It's
think
a
anything
spear
predated
chucker.
a sling.
Yeah,
it's a spear chucker.
It's literally
Mhm.
just a hook that hooks around a spear or it's literally an arrow kind of thing, but it's longer and
So
you
what-
just cut that shit.
So what
Yeah,
they
they're awesome.
so what they
Throw
would
the
do
stick.
is they would whittle a stick for a handle, put a leather area for your fingers to loop through, and they would actually tie like a wolf's tooth or something. Wrong stick. They would put a wolf's tooth at the other end of it that would basically notch against a really thin, almost like a really long arrow, almost. That
So it's
As
a
you-
stick
that
that
you would
throws a
bas-
stick.
Yeah.
And you have to share the stick.
And you have to share the stick. Looking at you, Otto.
So wait, didn't humans make that to compete with the Neanderthals that we were living with at the time? Isn't that a prehistoric tool? I thought I read somewhere.
You're a
It really is,
prehistoric
yeah.
tool.
Yeah, we made
it dates back all the way back.
Yeah, we started
So you
making
need
that
a
when there was
stick to
like
throw
4 different
another
types
stick.
of humans.
Only
And,
primitive
hey, guess
technology
what? We went.
on YouTube.
So technically, like a spear, but you have like a way to catapult said spear.
Yeah, it's a hand
It
cannon.
is.
It's a
It is more.
handheld.
It is
It's
more
handheld.
accurate. It's actually more accurate to say that it is a spear-length arrow almost.
Yep.
Because of how thin it is. It basically was how this weapon transitioned to others is that you have this really long stick with a take like an obsidian arrowhead or a stone arrowhead and put fletching at the other end of it, and that was the bolt that was thrown.
So technically, you're throwing a rock
Eventually-
and a stick.
Yes.
So at this point, I want to quote one of my favorite video game characters ever, Sergeant Major Johnson. When I joined the Corps, we had two sticks and a rock, and we had to share the rock.
Exactly. I actually
See,
want to
kids,
think
this is
that
history.
Yeah,
I wanna
circa
say they
2001.
I want to say they actually made it a weapon in oh god, what was that Primal game by Ubisoft?
Any Assassin's Creed?
The Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, Far Cry Primal, which funny enough is like a precursor to the Far Cry and the Assassin's Creed world. Because it is like canonically like the beginning of both video games' timeline. But if memory serves me right, I think they actually put that in the game as a weapon to be able to craft and use.
Just one of
I could be wrong,
though.
Yeah.
I also feel like
Because-
that stuff would be important too for kids to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would totally have an elective class that would teach basically what home ec used to be, but with a lot more life skills of like camping, survival skills, things
So-
that would actually catch people's attention. To be honest,
That actually needs to be courses in high school. You've got the great outdoors and home ec. Can be two separate elective classes.
Home ec, because our woodworking teacher, I forgot about that joke. But yeah, our FFA teacher, who also liked to work with wood, would teach us a lot of these like survival skills.
Why am I sensing a bad joke, like dirty joke in that?
That was such
I'm
low
sorry.
hanging fruit.
I'm sorry. I'm
Anybody ever
sorry.
watched like those primitive technology videos on YouTube?
Oh, those ones?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've seen
the
'em.
urban engineering video. Different thing. Never mind.
Well, I mean, it's basically like he goes out into the woods with a camera and a pair of shorts, and he
Oh,
goes into
yeah.
huts and
I know
such.
exactly what you're talking
Mhm.
about. I know exactly what you're
That's
talking
not
about.
Survivor Man, right?
Totally
Going back to
different.
going back to that sling weapon, like he made one of those and a primitive bow, and those things are actually impressive. Like, I would love to actually like see more of those happening in like classes and such.
Oh yeah.
No, unfortunately, home ec and the agriculture classes have kind of gone the way of the dodo for the most part. Unless you're in the South, they're alive and strong.
Honestly,
But-
you can revive a lot of that via the Foxfire books.
My kids
And
took,
if you-
my kids were able to take home ec and business like home finance and all of that. This was like last
Gosh.
year.
That's
I
weird,
didn't
'cause
say they
when I
were
was in high
completely
school,
gone,
they never
but a
had
lot of
that
kids aren't
stuff.
taking them.
Mhm.
That
Feel like
No.
they
that
should
should
no
be one of
longer
the
be
core
considered an
classes,
elective.
not an elective.
Yeah,
Man,
they should
Yeah.
switch it to core instead of elective, because if kids have a choice between like taking a good class and a fun class, of course they're gonna take the fun class. Like,
yeah,
Right.
if you make
come on.
learning fun, it's almost like kids gravitate toward it. Oh, who
Well-
would have thought?
Yeah.
Like, okay, these
Right,
were
that's
my
why-
electives when I was in high school. I had band, I had JROTC, I had FFA, I had shop class. I never once took home ec because I had the
Well,
other
then how did
I
it
had the
look
other
good?
4.
Man,
I
all we
had
got
band
in my
and
school
that,
was
but I had veterinary instead.
I'm
Oh, we
gonna
got
be, I'm gonna be
school.
honest with y'all. Go ahead, Otis.
all I got in my school was special ed and feminism.
I think that's because you were in the special ed.
Okay. I was gonna say
Mm.
I think that should be just like left where it is and move past part of that
We're
because
just gonna lay that down over there.
we're just
and
gonna
scooch it
move
over.
right over.
Like, we're just gonna cover this up with a towel now.
we
Pretend
are
it's
not
not
going to be talking about one of those subjects because we try to remain non-political because anyway,
A really
I'm
cool
not-
I end up
class that
causing
my
problems.
Tell anybody.
Well,
yeah.
a really cool elective that I wish I would have been able to go to school with my husband, because one of his electives was ham radio, and that's how he got into ham radio, because his high school had a ham radio club and like had
That would
as
have
an
been
elective.
freaking awesome.
Right.
That would be
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
You can still go
Totally one
into
of
ham
those
radio.
things.
There is an app you can do for that. It's
There's an app
it's
for
on the App
that.
Store called Ham Study, and it teaches you like everything and actually quizzes you for free.
Yep.
Huh,
So
I'm
it gives
currently
you
reading the
technician,
technician's
general,
manual stuff.
Amateur.
I wish you the
and other
best of luck
exams.
on that. My dad's
Hey,
got
look
his
at that.
license.
For practical
look
reasons,
at
most
that.
of us should have our technician's license. At
Yeah,
least.
that's kind of what I was thinking, and so I'm
I've got
starting
the
to read up on
equipment.
that.
Yeah, but that shit's
I'm looking at
expensive.
doing
The
both
equipment.
Oh, well,
GMRS
you can get a
and ham.
handheld radio for $30 on Amazon. I just looked yesterday.
I
Yeah,
tried
you
it
saw
on
it
Amazon,
already.
and when I went to buy one, they blocked my account. So, I'd be cautious.
Uh-oh, he got
Oh,
put on a
no.
watch list.
Oh no.
That's
I
weird.
got myself
Go-
blocked
so many
just
watch
because,
lists.
Amazon thought it was a big purchase. They blocked my account, so I had to go in and
Really?
fix that twice.
I'm
I owe
confused.
them, like,
You said it was a
lots of money.
big
They know I
purchase?
they know I
Yeah, I
make a
did that
big
with
purchase.
airports, but yeah.
Like,
It
if you
was
don't mind me
the
asking,
exact
how
right-
much was the purchase amount for them to block you?
I spent 16 on it, like how it was, like how she said, and apparently they thought it was a big purchase because I used my card for it, and they blocked me.
I was
For
gonna,
$16?
it's probably because
Yeah,
US? That's nuts.
Huh.
$16. I thought you were like talking about
I
like
think probably
1600.
what happened was you probably found a scam site or like a scam seller or something, and then like in the back end, like coding in, it probably wasn't actually $16. That's the only thing I can think of, because like
then
Okay,
Actually, it wasn't,
who's on the
exactly that.
soundboard?
so when I went to buy that radio
We all
for,
know who it
because
is.
I was learning ham radio myself, it was the exact radio that my person who is my Eagle Scout instructor. He does ham radio, and that's the exact radio he has that he recommended me. So I went to go buy it. Amazon just blocked me for no reason without
That's
even
fucked up.
emailing me why or anything.
Hmm. Curse you, Amazon!
seller
Actually, no, I
itself.
buy a lot of stuff from
Curse
Amazon.
you,
Don't-
Overlord Bezos!
I'm not.
Please
I'm
don't
not-
cancel my Kindle and Audible subscriptions.
So one of the things to get a little back on track and bringing this around to the Tenet, I've honestly sat down and was like, because you know how like other faiths have their schools, right? And I'm sitting here, I've actually sat down and thought, I was like, a school ran by our faith, what would be the criteria? Because I was like, private schools, you're held to, you have different standards than what like state funded schools have. Like, yes, you have to make sure that the students learn certain things, but you're not held to being like how like your funding is based off of your test scores, basically.
Honestly, I
Okay,
think
so
for us, the
oh.
homeschooling route would be the best, like coming up with some sort of
Yeah.
homeschooling curriculum.
I just see
Mhm.
it being hunting,
So-
gathering, farming, shooting, armor making.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
those
Blacksmithing.
things are
Basic.
important.
I mean, you laugh, but that's a good setup. So
I did,
I did
I
think of
said
this.
that in jest, but you're not wrong. It's really
Yeah,
good.
100%.
Mhm.
So the homeschooling method might be the best in having like a kind of a co-op type.
Yeah, a lot of friends
Yeah.
of mine do co-ops.
So the co-op method, screw all the standardization crap. Get that all that shit. Throw it on the fucking floor. It doesn't belong. That's
Burn
not how
it,
kids
Burn
work.
it with fire.
So basically,
but not
we're
the
going to be
books.
doing. We would realistically want to do something as long as the because it really does come down to parent via parent. So what the parents are comfortable with, and obviously when we
Mhm.
actually get plans set up and everything, that's for the council to deal with as they see fit. But once clans are actually established, every clan is probably going to have, I guess, some method of God, how do I put this? They're going to have some method of what we would recommend, I guess, that they learn so that they can, if they're planning on actually being a part of the clan as foundlings,
Right.
they're brushed up. We know that there's like a basic set that they're capable of doing on their own because we
Like
do want them to be
farming
functional.
or
Like
husbandry.
they would have to kind of pursue on their own. Parent just to make sure that they're functional in society. The homeschool co-op method is a good option. And if we wanted to keep it between faith people within the faith, I think there's a method of doing that where we handle practical skills that will actually keep them alive, and we can go over stuff like basic business economics. That stuff's important in my eyes, at least. Not everybody's gonna know the
So
same.
Oh
And I'm
yeah,
sure
the one thing
there's
we gotta be careful of.
probably
there's a whole curriculum available
right. I was
on
about to say that
YouTube.
there's curriculums available that like we can either use or we can
Or
like
pick from.
Modify
yeah,
it
we
to fit our
can-
needs.
We can pick from
Yeah.
this one and pick from this one.
Yeah,
and
because
pick
I'm
So one
this
That's
thing-
one of the
over here.
benefits of doing like
One
co-op or
thing-
slash homeschooling is you have a lot more what's the word
freedom.
input freedom. Yeah.
Input, yeah. One thing we have to be careful though with in doing that is making sure that it doesn't come off as like, for lack of a better term, cult-like.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Because if you look at a lot of cults, they
Oh,
try
yeah.
to they do things like this, and it's like,
The
Oh,
more
yeah,
be
there's
careful with how.
there. Well, like there's
I
actually
can say this, guys,
or
but
any
it
of
really
the
doesn't
any
matter
of the
what
other
kind of
ones.
pattern they put on it. It's gonna be called cult-like anyways.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure I'm sure we
Everything
already
can really
have
be
that
boiled down
title.
as a
It's
cult.
gonna be stigma. But as
Well, I
long
mean,
as like
but like
all the core classes are covered, it should be okay. You know,
Right,
like
Yeah,
science,
right.
math,
So-
reading.
every state is going to have its own requirements for homeschooling. Unfortunately, that's something that is like subject to change in the future because a lot of the homeschooling groups and activists and everything, they've been making some huge headway on like school choice related stuff. Not to get in the
Mhm.
nitty gritty and political, because I know we don't like to cover all that. It is something
Mhm.
that's relevant to discussion here, and I think is warrants people to go and kind of research that for themselves. Freedom of education,
Right.
trying to get
Mhm.
away from public education, and doing like bushcraft stuff that your kids, at least you have the confidence that they're going to be okay if they're out on their own, and you don't have to worry about the most basic things being an obstacle to them.
Mhm.
So your math, your
Along with
science,
extreme scouts.
yeah,
Mhm.
no, pretty much. Just make sure that they understand the world around them, give them the ability to explore said world around them, but also give the parents like the confidence that they are in control of that education, and no one can tell them what to do with said education.
Right.
Yeah. Because
Agreed.
I'm not trying to be political with this, but some of the things I've heard in recent days that get taught in school, I'm sitting here like, why are our kids having to learn this? This
Right.
isn't a topic for school. I'm
Oh,
not getting specific
The
I'm not going to say any specific topics. I'm just leaving it as vague and broad as I can. Of there are things that are being taught in schools at all levels, not just at high school, not just at elementary, not just at middle school or whatever grade level it is. There are things that it's like, this should not be being taught in school. This is not what school is supposed to be for.
Yeah. I would argue that a lot of it is downright. I would argue a lot of it is downright predatory. Like there's a purpose for it, and it's not good.
Right, and I think like where the root of the problem, unfortunately, with that is people don't pay attention to what their kids are learning. They're not on the PTA like committees. They're not paying attention to the homework that the kids are bringing, and unfortunately, like
if there's even homework
when you're
at
not
all.
looking. Yeah, when you're not
that's
looking,
all on purpose, though.
Well, yeah, and also most of the homework now is completely online.
Yeah, it's all multiple choice. It's like A, B, C, or D, and most of the time it's C.
The apathy of involvement from parents is just extraordinary, and it's rooted in it because of the fact everyone expects the school system to work exactly the way it did when they were in school and when their parents were in school. And people are only just now realizing that's not how it works.
Well, also the like the public education system in the United States was made to create factory workers. Like,
and now it's pushing out student debts. That's what it pushes out.
Yep.
You're told you're going to go to college. You need to get loans, and that's just raising all the student debt.
Which is why the homeschool and sometimes unschool methods, give or take some weird, give or take some levels of success or failures, the unschool method, it really comes down to how disciplined you are with your kids. But the homeschool method is probably, I keep telling people this, we got to go back to an agricultural society, and homeschooling is going to be one of the ways to get us there. So, take that or leave it.
Fun fact for you, I actually just recently learned this. There used to be two different school calendars. There was a year-round school for the city folk, and we had the long summer break school session for the people out in the urban, the rural, the agricultural side of it. And that was because the kids needed to get home. They needed that long summer break for harvesting. Where the city kids didn't need that, so they were in school the entire year for the most part, with breaks. I mean, it wasn't a 52-week calendar. I hate to say this, but most of my stuff I have learned off of TikTok now.
Yeah, it's crazy how how both educational and propagandical. I created a new word there. TikTok is.
Yeah, no.
How mind-numbing and educational.
It's informative that is instructive to culture-wise. However, I will say, like the. Oh fuck! I just lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
I'm not gonna lie. I learn whenever I want to learn something. One of the first places I go to is actually like YouTube.
My dad calls that YouTube University.
I know what I was going to say. I know what I was going to say. So I've been thinking about, because people really they really get mad at me when I suggest that we privatize schooling entirely to do homeschool co-ops and make teachers basically contractors, actually provide their skills on the market and actually be competitive in it, and they would make so much more money. All you need to do is make a subscription-based service for your education, and just make sure it's compliant with state regulations. That's it. It's so fucking easy.
That's what a lot
And they
of
don't
like
wanna do it.
online schools are doing anyway.
Yeah. pretty
Why
much.
did my mind go
and-
to OnlyFans when you said subscription based?
I know.
Have you been there recently? Did you
No.
recently? Is that where the brain's at?
I have not been. I'm not touching that one.
I am
Yeah,
happily.
I would
Another
not
thing to
suggest
add on
doing
to
that.
that is like growing up in like schools and like doing PTA stuff or PTSA stuff for students, I've learned that teachers really don't get paid much like they used to.
No,
No,
they
they're not.
don't.
No.
No.
I
And
was a
they're
substitute
especially-
teacher
and
for a
they're
while, and I
especially-
made more money than most of the other teachers.
You don't
Okay,
need
so
an
here's an example. How much does the average teacher get paid? What's their salary?
It's
Out
like
around here, like
35,000 a
40,000.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I work. West Minton know this. A lot of y'all know this. I work in the recycling industry. The people that we call out to work on our machines is like $800 to $900 an hour.
I could actually give you a bit of clarity on like using Texas as an example. So as of September 2024, the average salary of a teacher in Texas is around $39,726 per year, or about
That's
$19.97 per
I make
hour.
just a little bit more than a teacher.
Well,
Yeah,
like
I made-
and that's above average because the average that I saw for, and this is for the United States, like average is about 3,400 per year.
3,400 or 34,000?
34,000. Sorry, I forgot.
3,400. Holy shit!
However,
Woo! That's a missing zero.
However-
zeros are important.
However, it does go on to say the range of salaries is wide, with some teachers making as little as $19,565 and others making as much as $64,751.
How much would I bet that 64,000 is in home office?
Mm-hmm.
The majority of teachers in Texas make between $31,200 and $53,100, with the top 10% making $59,160 or more.
God damn.
So they complain about their salaries. They build the, again, not getting too political into it, but they build the unions and everything only for them to get screwed over by said unions. And there's a reason. I'm sorry. There's a reason why teachers don't get paid much, and it's because it's not there in the market, right? Like your job got replaced by Google. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Like either
Yeah.
adapt and overcome, or just let the public education system die. Which I'm okay with both.
Another thing that hurts teachers is the fact that even to this day, they're still expected to provide materials.
Right, they
Oh,
have
for
to
their class.
provide
They're also
the
kind of-
class
they're also
material out
brought
of their
on to
own
be, like,
pocket.
Babysitters
This
for
is-
students, and they're
Mhm.
not babysitters.
This is
Yeah.
why. So my kids went to year-round charter school. We were part of their tuition. Like their whole tuition was paid by the voucher program, school of choice. But all of their supplies and everything, that was all bought by the parents. So we had to supply all of our, at the beginning of the year, we were given, this is what you can either supply this or supply the money. And I paid the money and she did the supplies. So we gave somebody supplies. Cause
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hooray. Hooray for good communication.
I think we could reasonably set up some sort of system within the faith to have some people that are genuinely good at teaching a skill or a skill set to even adult audience or younger audience, whatever you want to choose.
Right.
And have
Or
them,
mixed.
Yeah, no, it can be either or. Like the sky's the limit for you if you can do both. But reasonably, like if you can market yourself and say, hey, I can teach these things, and we have people in the faith that agree that they believe and have confidence in you as your own brand to be able to teach either them or their kids said topics that they might not be able to. Because remember, this is about outsourcing. If you can teach it at home yourself, please fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it kind of reminds me of Skillshare. It's like basically where you can sign up to be a teacher or learn,
Right.
and like you get to specialize.
We'll start going into the Mongolian Empire and the Roman Empire, and then I'll start talking about horse archers.
I mean, history is important. Like, the children need to know the history.
I agree.
You're not wrong.
I agree. Which is why I'm trying to convince Marguerite Dur to do homeschooling over even because she's wanting to send them to a different.
I didn't know you had kids.
A religious school. I'll just say that.
I mean, Catholic. I will say this about some Catholic schools: they know what the heck they're doing. Like, my dad went to a Catholic school. He had problems. He went to the Catholic school. He got beaten. And now he's okay.
If you're gonna beat them, I suggest a military school, because then at least you learn,
that too.
all of the important things. My mom and dad threatened to send me to military school when I was in like 8th grade. I laughed at them and told them,
God.
I laughed at them and told them, I know you can't. We're poor.
I got
We're poor.
I got threatened.
I wish they would have followed through and sent my ass.
They threatened me. They threatened to send me to military school because I got caught talking to girls. That was it.
No.
Scandalous.
Scandalous.
Yeah, dad comes in and be like, I didn't realize I was raised in a whore.
Why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island?
Wait, that's a real thing?
Oh,
There
for
sadly will not
everybody.
be a language lesson. There will sadly not be a language because this has already gone on for too long, and I do not have anything planned. I will have something.
I've got some
We
to
need
send
to
you
make the-
for next section then.
We need to know what the word for candy is in Mandoa. The people must know.
You will find out in 2 weeks. Next time on Under the Hill.
I will have that. I will have that. I will have that next time.
Next time on Under the Hill. Find out if Zell actually makes the word for candy.
Let's go.
I will make it happen.
I'm sorry, I've been watching too much Dragon Ball Z.
Watch DBZ Abridged as well as support the official release. Both of them are
people
funny.
won't
Watch the official release. Watch the official release before you watch DBZ Abridged, and children, stay away from DBZ Abridged because of context.
Yeah.
Unless you have
I've made it up to the Android saga.
No one likes GT. I'm kidding. Kind of.
I've been binge watching the shit out of Dragon Ball Z.
To be honest,
What about watching that one episode that reminds you of the game?
God damn it!
You actually caught me.
It wasn't me this time. It wasn't me this time.
You actually caught me while I was actually paying attention. Fucker.
There's a special place in hell for people who play that game.
Yeah, it's called Ohio.
Hey, I'll make sure to save a spot.
I'm driving the bus, motherfuckers. Get on.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I bring my stuffed animal?
Yes. All stuffed animals are welcome.
I'm literally packing my bag right.
All right, y'all about to get muted so I can do my ending here if y'all don't shut up.
We can continue. For those of you listening, we have a segment called Mando After Hours that is currently exclusively to the live stream on Twitch, as well as here in the Discord. If you wish to know what goes on in the continuation of this conversation, sadly you won't, because this conversation would have already happened. However, join us on the Discord or on Twitch here at Cadus_1337. Check out us on the Discord in the link tree below. That way you can join us for Mando After Hours. These do not get uploaded anymore as they would cause these to be far too long. I am your co-host, Zelda More. With us is our wonderful host, Cadence
Kadale Kebor. Eve Kruni.
Kebor. See y'all next time. Eve Kruni. This is the way.
Eva Grooney.
Even
This is the
Words.
way.